This is Terry McDade, aka the Pirate Hunter, and this is an update on the Polar Lights 1/8 scale Headless Horseman. When I did the original review, I said, oh, this would be something you could sit down and do on a rainy afternoon while watching TV with your kid because it only had 58 parts or something like that. It was quite a eye-opening experience on this thing. The seams were horrible trying to get them to go together. I had large amounts of issues with the glue not wanting to stick. It would stick and then the parts would fall off. I tried all sorts of glue. I did a thing on ISM, International Scale Modeler Forum, about all the different glues I tried and what finally decided to work on this. The putty on this, also trying to get putty to work on this, is quite interesting because some of that putty, the Tamiya white, just hits and sticks right now, and you can't get it out of any of the filigree. This thing has all sorts of filigree on it, major, small filigree. So when you go to fill it, it covers it up. Now, I've got some of the pointed sanding sticks that I'm trying to get to work on this putty because I finally ended up going to milliput on some of it to get it to work, to fill it in because of the larger holes on it. As you can see underneath the left arm, where I rotated the left arm and I changed the angle on it, and you can see where I changed the angle on the left hand that I had to make out of a right hand, so there's no thumb on it yet. You can see some of the other places I filled on it on the back of his leg. And if you look right here, right here, you can still see, I'm on my tab 2 and it's not working very good today, you can still see part of the seams on the back of his leg. When you fill it, it goes kind of flat. It comes up with the folds and the wrinkles and then goes flat on the back of it. I also took on the boots where the spurs come out, they had the spurs coming out of the very bottom of the boots, which if you've ever worn them, you know that doesn't work quite right. So I ended up cutting the attach points off where the spurs were supposed to go into and adding some plastic to the boot heels. I originally shot this in black primer from UMP, which is a really good primer, but when I decided to shoot it over in a gray also, like you do when you're painting cars or motorcycles, and it showed me just how bad the seams really were. The black didn't show them as bad. So trying to fill some of these is very, very, very tough. It just fills all the, like I said, all the filigree on it and all the detail. Now, you can see where it is on his arm. Like I said, this is on my tab 2, and it's really weirding out. You can see on his chest next to his left arm where I put some of tried to put seams back into it to try to add some of the wrinkles and the folds on it. Where I had to change the hand, where I've had to build that all up, and even on this, where I did the right hand, where I rotated it on it, and I'm still filling it in. This turned out to be lots more of a major project than I ever thought it would be. It appeared to be very, very simple, but it didn't turn out that way. On the sides, you can see where anything, just where you're trying to fill the seam and try to smooth it into it instead of just having a flat spot there. Down on this also. Like I said, that Tamiya white just sticks to it right now. It really likes it for some reason, but the Tamiya extra thin glue doesn't. Like I said, I did a big thing on all the different glues and putties I tried. The horse, when I did this horse, I had more clamps on this thing, trying to get it to clamp together to stay, and I still haven't done the inside on it. And once again, you can see where the pieces come together, trying to fill the seams, where you have all the markings in the horsehair underneath that you in there with a scribe trying to straighten them out, smooth them out, and fix them. Same down across the nose and the top of the horse's head and all this, down in through the mouth. And the light, if you want to know what seams still are open with the light in there, it definitely shows you what seams are still open. The eyes haven't been drilled out and won't be till after they're painted. The hole in the back of the saddle is where the power cord goes down through for the Headless Horseman himself. And I had to make it big enough that the connector, wherever it went, on the end of the wire could fit down through it. So that's why that hole is so big. It's not the kit I've got, maybe it's not representative, but it just wasn't an easy fit on this. And the glues I had just didn't work. And I have quite a collection of them right now that I will probably never use most of them on. Again, trying to fill the body putty in around where I put the skull on the front of it. So all in all, this is not a kit I'd recommend for a young builder, a first-time builder, things like that. It's very, very frustrating. It just doesn't fit right. You can, I don't know, maybe yours will glue different. I tried washing parts. I tried not washing parts. I spent a lot of time gluing sprues together and everything else to see what kind of glue and putty would work the best. And in some places the glue would work good on the sprue, and on other pieces of the same sprue the glue wouldn't work, wouldn't stick together. You could just get a hold of it and pop it apart. So this is just a quick update on it. If you buy this kit, like I said, go look at the ISM forum, International Scale Modeler forum, where I did a lot of this. And it'll explain everything I did on the glues and this. It gets a little dry there for a while, but like I said, we're not international glue triers, we're international scale modelers. Hopefully this will help you out on making a decision on this, or if you have done one of these, maybe you have some info you could post on what you did to correct it, or if you didn't have issues on it. Anything would be appreciated on this, on anybody starting on this. The diorama base is mostly together, so hopefully I'll get that done. All the figures, other figures for this, from the up to the 1/24th, 1/25th scale figures are starting to get done. Other than I found another issue with glue on some of them. One quick note on this. Part of this is resin. The left arm is resin, so that you definitely have to use super glue on. Super glue would work on this in some ways, in other ways it wouldn't. So just be warned that you're liable to have some glue and clamp and fit issues on this. As always, this is the Pirate Hunter. To quote the great Jerry Springer, take care of yourself and each other, and have a nice day till the next time.